Alright, this is my presentation on how to play sub penny stock picks from microcapmillionaires.com. As a disclaimer, I want to let you know that I am not an investment advisor. I don't pretend to be one. This is risky penny stock stuff, and you could lose 100% of your money if you ever buy a stock that I mentioned. First, I want to talk about criteria that I look for in a sub penny stock. First, I look at the share structure, and I look for a low float of outstanding shares. I want the price to be around 0.005 or under that. The reason I look for a low float is because when people start buying a low float penny stock, it goes up faster opposed to a sub penny stock with a big share structure, because there's more shares available to be bought, therefore it has a harder time going up. It's a supply and demand issue. I also look for an early news cycle in a sub penny stock. I want to see a new press release that's been out in the last week or two that shows the fact that the company is in a new business plan. Maybe they have a new product, something that shows a fresh news cycle in a company. Early stages of an alert for a sub penny stock. People are going to go and buy it, and the volume's going to explode, and the stock's going to go up pretty good. Now, paid members will get the pick first, and then it'll go to people on the free list, usually later the same day or the next day after the alert. I want you to pay attention to my entry and exit zones. They're there for a reason. They're there so you don't chase the stock and you don't end up as a bag holder. If I make an entry zone as 0035 and below, try not to chase it above that, even though it might be tempting. If for some reason you get my alert late, you can't check your email, you can't check your Twitter for some reason. I More often than not, you're probably going to be better off if you hold off if you can't buy it under the recommended entry point. And then if it hits an exit zone, or maybe just shy of an exit zone, and you have the opportunity to sell some of your shares, I recommend you do that to lessen the risk to your overall trading money. Now, the waiting game. After my alert, the stock's going to taper off in volume. It's not going to keep going up every day just because I picked it. The price is going to consolidate and probably go down a bit, and it's going to find basically a happy medium. Hopefully that's above our entry zone. Now, what's needed next is for the stock to consolidate and for the company to put out more positive news to get the stock moving again, just like HBRM did. We picked it in February. The stock went up initially, tapered off for a few days, then more news started coming out, and the stock went up and had a really, really nice second and actually a third leg to the breakout. So that one worked out well. Now, end game scenarios. It's either going to work out like HBRM did, which is perfect, or it's not going to end up well. And that would be ISIM. The company just never follows through with their press releases, and people lose interest in the stock, and it doesn't go anywhere. And so you have to realize there's two endgame scenarios. One is very good, and then the other one is very bad. There's really not any in-betweens with sub-penny stocks. So important notes. Sub-penny stocks are very illiquid. I wouldn't use more than $1,500 to trade in a sub-penny stock. If you use more than that, you risk not being able to sell your shares. And only use money you can afford to lose. If you're one of these people that have come on hard times, and you have a little bit of money and you don't have a job and you need to provide for your family, I understand where you're coming from, but I'll tell you what, do not put your money in a sub penny stock. You can turn a bad situation into a worse situation if you do that. I really advise you not to play a sub penny stock if you're desperate, if you don't have a job and you're just trying to make some money. Don't do this, please. Now, they can also be boring while waiting for more news releases. These stocks can be boring. After I send my alert out and things aren't happening for a few days, a couple weeks goes by, no more news, and that's just part of it. You just have to wait and see if they put out some news. That's why I give them a month or so after I pick them to see if anything happens. And also, like I mentioned before, try to sell some of your shares as the stock moves up in that initial spurt of momentum, so you can sell some of them and lessen the risk to your trading capital. Now, the next sub penny stock pick. Like I mentioned a second ago, I play about one a month, and so I'll alert one about one sub penny stock a month. It'll go out to the paid members first on the Twitter feed, and then I'll also send an email simultaneously. The Twitter feed is good because there's no email lag. I'll send out emails sometimes, and people will respond and say, "Why am I getting this? Why am I getting this email at 8 o'clock at night?" And it just happens sometimes. There's really no way around it. Most of the time they come pretty quick, but sometimes they do lag. So uh, that's basically a summary of sub penny stocks, what I look for and how to play them. So good luck.